Hi, I'm Hunter with RarePlantCuttings.com, and today I'll show you how to graft your mango trees. Before you get grafting, there's a couple tools you're going to need. You're going to need some pruners, a grafting knife, some isopropyl alcohol for disinfecting. Of course, you're going to need your mango scions. You're going to need grafting tape, and you're going to need some rootstock. Or you can use it on an existing tree using the same method I'm going to show you today. I also like to keep a gray Sharpie so I can just write the variety on the pots. So I like to disinfect my tools, and I'll just take some isopropyl alcohol like this and I'll just pour it right on my tools, my grafting knife and my pruners. I'll let them air dry instead of wipe them down with something that could have bacteria on it, just to be sanitized. Here I have a couple rootstocks from some seeds that I planted maybe about 3 months ago. They've grown really fast and turned into some pretty nice rootstocks. You know, these are about a little bit less than pencil thickness. They're going to be perfect for grafting. I also have my scions here today that I'm going to be grafting onto these rootstocks. These scions are the Maha Chanook variety. It's one of my favorites, very disease resistant and makes an excellent fruit. Where you'll start is you want to find your scion and determine its approximate thickness. On your rootstock, you can go ahead and find a spot that lines up just about right, you know, and it really doesn't matter if your scion and your rootstock are not the same size, because I'll show you a tip of what I do. The next thing you're gonna do is take your pruners, make a clean cut, just like that. It hurts, but you cut off the top just like that. And then you're left with this. Next thing you'll do is you'll take your grafting knife after it's been sanitized and clean. You'll take your rootstock. And this part you need to be very careful with because you're gonna be making a cut. I've seen people make a cut this way away from them. It might be safer. I've always made my cuts just like this. I hold it and I angle my wrist down so when I'm cutting, it's far away from my wrist. But I will take my scion just like this, and you want to make a straight, smooth cut, just like that. If you don't get it deep enough, you can make another cut, go a little bit deeper. Right, so this is a cleft graft that we're doing. So I've cut one side here, nice and straight, right down the edge. I'll do the other side the exact same. So I'll identify my spot. I'll come like this, make a straight, clean cut. So here's my cut. You have it nice and straight on both sides. You can see here in the middle, this is the woody part. That's not what's going to take. What's going to take is this outer rim right here. This is called the cambium. And when you're grafting, the goal is to match this cambium up in line with your rootstock. Once you have this cut, try not to get it dirty. Try to keep it open and clean. When you have your rootstock cut off like this, you'll make a single cut like this, right down the middle. And I like to wiggle my knife up and down just like this. So that way, if you go straight down, sometimes you can cut it too far or too deep, but I wiggle my knife to approximately the same length as the scion. So I'll wiggle that down. Once you get to the right length, take it, pull it right out. So now we have our rootstock and we have our scion. And what you'll want to do is take your scion and your rootstock just like this and slide them together. Just like that. You'll slide them together. Get it nice. You'll slide your rootstock and your scion together. You do not want to see a gap like I have here in the bottom. I mean, this might take, and it might be fine because we have really good matching on one side. Sometimes if I see that gap, I'll flip it around and then I'll see if it lines up any better going the other way. You can see here it did. We have no gap, no air, cannot see any light coming through it. If you have a little bit of light right here at the bottom, that's a-okay. That's gonna fill in with sap, but you wanna get good matching cambium layers on both sides. The most important thing to do when you are grafting is to make sure you at least have one side of cambium on either side lined up perfectly. What I mentioned before is that if this scion was larger than this rootstock, they appear to be matched pretty closely. I would focus on, instead of trying to match both sides of the scion to the rootstock, I would only match one side, because the odds of them lining up perfectly are very slim. So even with some of my grafts that line up fine, I'll take one side and I will make sure that I have good cambium connection right here. I'll zoom in a little closer to show you what I'm talking about. So when I say match up one side, I'll show you here on the other side. This side does not line up as well. This side over here does not line up. And you can see that the cambium on this side, on the right side here, does not line up with the top of that scion. That's a-okay. You just want to make sure to get one side really well. One side of your scion. If you can match up the cambium, the rest will fill in. I like to get them as smooth as possible just on one side, and I've had much better success with that. The next thing you're going to do is take your grafting tape. I like to use perforated buddy tape, and all of our scions we provide come wrapped in buddy tape, so they are ready to go. What I like to do is start on the bottom, pinch one side, pull it around like this, get it started a little bit below the graft. Make sure that it's as dry as possible here. You don't want to have water inside of your graft. Okay, so then you'll pull it around just like this. Now, the direction of the scion, you don't want it to wiggle like this, because it can when you're wrapping it. So what I like to do is I hold one side like this, and when I pull it around, I always pull tension on the rootstock side. I never pull tight tension against the graft. So I pull like this, I hold it tight right here. I go ahead, I pull it around, I let off, and then I'll grab this side like this, and I'll do the same thing just to make sure that this scion is not wiggling out of place. Once you get up to the top here, just make sure you get it nice and tight so that way water doesn't go in. You'll usually have a little bit left over. What I like to do is I'll take my parafilm or my grafting tape, I'll twist it up like this, and then I'll pull it nice and tight along the rootstock side, so that way I'm not throwing off my scion alignment. Next important thing to have is just a Sharpie, a gray Sharpie, particularly for these black pots. So right here, I will just come and I'll write Maha. So I know that's a Maha Chanook. Ordering mango scions is a affordable way to expand your mango collection. And what's cool is you can use mango scions not just for new rootstocks like these, but to also graft onto existing trees, just like this. And that's how you graft mango trees with cleft grafting. You can order the scions from us at RarePlantCuttings.com. We ship out every Monday. Your scions will come labeled. You can order one or you can order 100. So the choice is up to you. It's always grafting time. And thanks for watching. Hope this helped.